how do you see the future of this movement going? What are there any? I mean, obviously, there's more interest in it and a take action kind of interest in it. Are there any cutting edge technologies out there that the federal government could be doing more to invest in, obviously in a fiscally responsible way?
Yeah, and absolutely. And they're already doing it, which is really kind of cool. So what we realize now is that, like that first Earth Day in my whole childhood, this concept of electric vehicles was like, it seemed like a fantasy. It was like, that's never going to happen. And now they're here and they're real and they're working. Like it's not even, I mean, a challenge. It's like you see a Tesla doesn't even register anymore because it's like, oh, that's an 100% electric car and it just works. But where the government really needs to and can be part of this climate solution is in helping to ensure that the batteries for these cars, that the technology that makes these batteries is better technology, and that it actually, the materials to build these batteries, we don't wind up relying on, if I can be so bold, on another foreign country that has, say, our oil, right? So we want to make sure that we don't, if you will, create another, Saudi Arabia, so that, oh, where are we going to get our oil from? Batteries are the new oil. And that's going to be really important. So we're already seeing the federal government today, Department of Energy today, is making loans to companies to help them create better batteries and to help them create better batteries with materials that are abundant here in the US. And that's where I think it's really exciting. We're talking about, at US Department of Energy, they have the Loan Program Office, the LPO, and they just made $1 billion loan to a company to help create better batteries. But it's not free money. And I think that's a key piece. It's a loan. Now, yes, it can be a risk because this is still new technologies we're talking about, but the loan will be paid back to the taxpayers and then some, because this company is going to work. That's the assumption. And that's really
you're reminding me of the Tsongas campaign in that, he used to talk, when he was talking about the economy, he really emphasized manufacturing. He'd say it over and over again. Was concerned about hollowing out of our manufacturing base because the effect of jobs, it's not just jobs, it's just losing control. I mean, we're seeing what happens now in the Russia-Ukraine situation, and to a certain extent, the pandemic, the whole post-Cold War business model that we had thought of.
Yep.
Is now, we're seeing the downsides of it, let me put it that way, and expanding the manufacturing base in a new technology that is not pie in the sky, as you say, anymore. People aren't thinking about electric cars as I would have thought of in the 70s or 80s. It's just like an absurd thing to even think about.
Exactly.
And frankly, I think people thought of solar power in those days too, the same way. It's just, I don't know, but now it's taken seriously. So this investment in the batteries, I think is kind of consistent with that idea of re-engineer, reinvigorating the manufacturing sector.
That's right. It is, and actually part of it also is, there are companies worldwide that are working on these issues, and the U.S. government is saying, hey, if you want to, if you want to come in, if you want us to lend you some money, you have to establish here in the United States. And so we are really seeing now electric truck manufacturers looking at specific states and where they're going to go to do their manufacturing in the U.S. And it's straight from the Paul Tsongas handbook. I mean, it's exactly that. It's like, yes, let's leverage the financial ability of the federal government to make these investments into more jobs, more clean technologies, more ability for the United States to actually do all of these things for ourselves and for others. And it really does, it's really pretty cool to see it. So, in the 90s, we thought the manufacturing base was just gone. And now we'll see it's coming back. And a huge part of that is the clean technology manufacturing base.